Hey YouTube, it's Rarity, and today I want to talk about the ban list, or more so the lack of having a ban list and any specified idea of when it might even come out. I'm sure many of you have already read the article Konami released today talking about how the list is overextended, and it's written kind of strangely, and I'm sure most of you know last year it did not come out on time, and that's because there are still nationals going on and stuff like that. This weekend is European nationals, and ideally, right after European nationals is done and we see what is doing well over there, and then they can, that's their last piece of the puzzle that they need to make a ban list, ideally. But a lot of people I've seen are talking, a bunch of crazy things, like they might even wait until Worlds, which is kind of irrelevant if you think about that. Because Worlds doesn't have anything to do, it's its own ban list, its own set of things, and like for example, I don't even, Burning Abyss won North American Nationals, but I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think that Worlds would even have Burning Abyss because it's a TCG exclusive archetype. I could be wrong with that. I don't know anything about Worlds because I don't particularly care. Again, kind of irrelevant. But the article was written very strangely, and a lot of people were talking about, because it just doesn't know, as a player, you want to know what to expect and what decks to be picking up, and this is essentially just a dead time in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's always unfortunate it happens, but no one knows what decks to pick up, because, for example, I already have the deck Burning Abyss, but I kind of want to pick it up and play it again, but I'm pretty positive it's going to get hit, but I'd like to know, because if it doesn't, or if it, kind of gets hit and is still playable, I'd like to be experimenting with it and doing new things. This is a great time to be experimenting, because there's nothing that you need to, there's no events. This could be a very fun time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unfortunately, we don't know what we want to try to play yet, because there's no point in investing a lot of time in a deck that's going to be dead, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it is unfortunate, and I understand that a lot of people just really want to know when we'll get it. We don't care if it's going to be late, just knowing when we would get it would be enough to suffice us. It's okay, well, we're not going to get it for another 2 years, but we know that now. But it's just written really strangely, because it's talking about hitting things prematurely, and they've done that with different things. For example, when Dark Matter came out, they hit the Dragon Rulers, and I think that was a deck for 1 or 2 events, that was a weekend or something. But that deck maybe wasn't actually as busted as people thought it was, but they hit it prematurely, so we don't really know. Pretty sure it was pretty busted, but they're saying they don't want to hit things until it's a problem, basically, until it's confirmed. And then I don't think this is exactly what they meant, but I did notice a lot of people were talking about not having a set date for any of the future ban lists, which I don't think that's what they meant. I think they just meant for this one, but they did word it strangely. I kind of see where they're coming from with that one, because they're talking about wanting to be more involved with what the players think, and waiting and being more flexible, whatever that means, flexible. But really, I mean, if you gotta hit, personally, I think if you gotta hit things prematurely, just hit them. I mean, if they're gonna be broken, you can proxy decks, you can test them out, and you can get on Dueling Network or whatever, whatever. There's ways to test this out and see if this shit's going to be broken or not. And I understand that, there's always somebody coming up with something crazy and, finding ways to make cards broken. Like this new, my buddy at Nationals, he played a, what was it, Blue-Blooded Oni? There's an FTK deck, crazy shit, I don't know, you can look that up on YouTube here and find some stuff with that. But yeah, it's an infinite loop with just these shitty cards that we've, had for fucking ever. Well, some of them are new, and that's why, the new guy, that you can make 2 ranks into the guy. He's he has no stars or whatever, no rank, but he's treated as a level or rank 1 or something. I don't even know. But anyway, he's what made the thing actually happen now. But still, it's been a while since he's been released, and we've just now kind of figured it out. But anyway, people are worried that Konami's just gonna randomly insert new new ban list or something like that. But I don't think that's the case. I think they will stick with the 3-month format, and that's personally my favorite way of doing it. I like the 3-month format. We're just in a tricky time right now because of waiting for the Nationals and stuff. But I guess my biggest fear, my biggest, most realistic fear at the moment is that they're waiting not for Worlds, but also in August, early August. Clash of Rebellions comes out, and although I don't know what, like, just the way they were wording, they're like, we might want to wait a little bit to see what really needs to be hit. And quite frankly, as a player, you know, I mean, I enjoy playing competitively, but at the same time, I, you know, enjoy playing the game because it's a fun game, and, you know, this format's been going on for too long, so we need something new, we need something fresh, and we desperately are actually craving it. It's one of those things where it's, you know, sometimes people don't want the format to end, and right now pretty much everyone is just ready for a new format and ready to, you know, begin a new game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're tired of Necros being the best deck, and if you're not playing Necros, you're playing something that is main decking something anti-Necros. So it's I don't know, it's not very fun times in Yu-Gi-Oh! When you have to main deck Floodgates to kill other decks, or kill a deck to kill a deck, mostly. I mean, you know. But also talking about, you know, the ban list, and I want to do, like, not really predictions, but just have a little formal conversation about it, because I don't really like doing predictions, because I'm usually never right, I guess is the most simple way to put it, because you never know. I mean, there's just so many things you can talk about. Like, for example, you know, I'll start with Burning Abyss, since that's what won Nationals. And although I don't want this deck to get hit, I love this deck very dearly, and putting Tour Guide to 1 is already enough, I think. But I mean, realistically, we could see Sierra Graph getting hit to 1, potentially both. And I think if both get hit, the deck's dead. If one gets hit, either one gets hit to 1, I think it could be playable. We'll just have to see. You know, there's always a wacky way to build something when it gets neutered. Not always, but there can be. You know, for example, people thought Burning Abyss was dead before this. It had an upcoming back again. As soon as Necros came out, everyone stopped playing Burning Abyss. But you know, it proved that it's still a very good deck. And, you know, I don't know. I really like the deck, but part of me thinks that it might not get hit, because I assume, and this, I could be wrong on this again as well, but I assume that they'll be doing something similar to what they did with the Noble Knight box, where they released, you know, whatever shitty card came out in there, and they had the mat, and it came with sleeves and all that. I would assume that they would be wanting to do the same thing with that. So Burning Abyss might survive another format just for that to come out. I don't know if that's something that's happening or not. I'm pretty sure the Noble Knight one was a bomb, but that was, you know, just on Konami sales points and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it didn't do well, but that's because no one wanted to pick up a shitty deck. This is obviously a good deck. If they put, like, something in there, put new cards in there, or even one new card that's really good, you know, people will be wanting to pick up that box just to get it, and plus to get, like, a Burning Abyss mat and Burning Abyss sleeves. People actually want these things, so I could very well see that happening. And if that is something that they're wanting to do, then they could keep Burning Abyss untouched, but we'll see. And I want people to remember that Burning Abyss and Shaddolls have been around for a very long time. They've been around for, was it like, it's 4 sets old now, with this new set coming up, and that's a long time, really, for a deck to be, you know, came out forever ago and won Nationals. That's really good. Obviously, even with, you know, Tour Guide at 1, the deck is still very powerful, and I'd like people to put that in perspective, because, like, it is time for new decks, and people are very focused on getting Necros out of the way, which I completely agree with. Or even, I don't know, I guess I'd be alright if there was a way to, I don't know if there's a way to injure them without killing them. there may be a way. But I feel like anything that you do really too badly, because the deck's point is that it's consistent. It doesn't really have a lot of fancy moves or non-stop, advantage or anything like that. Like Burning Abyss being all floaters, it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to even like do damage against Burning Abyss, just because you keep swinging and like, oh, another guy, hey, look at me, I have a 2,000 ass. But with Necros, which although they do have a very good advantage system with their spells, in the graveyard, you get to banish and just add like 10 cards to your hand, and you're like, I can do whatever I want now, and then you get torrential and like, I'll just do it again. And then they of course have Valk, which makes them hard to get past their own Battle Fader. But but mainly the deck's big thing is the fact that it is consistent. It's extremely consistent, possibly one of the most consistent decks ever made. Maybe, possibly the #1 most consistent deck ever made. But that's because like literally every card in the deck is a searcher. So why would it not be consistent? But with that being, if the deck became semi-consistent, I don't even know if it'd be worth playing, because that's not really the point of Necros. Like, of course, yes, there is Trish and stuff like that, but that's like their one-trick pony. They have Trish, they have Valk, and they can make Exiton. Woohoo, and they're Brionic. He can get rid of some extra deck guys sometimes. And like, unless he's playing against Ritual Beast, they're like, fuck you. But I don't know. Just kind of want to have a conversation about the ban list, because honestly, I'm like everyone else, it's killing me. I really want to play new things. Really excited, because I want to see like if Necros gets hit. That's the big one, because everything is either Necros or anti-Necros. So if Necros gets hit, decks will no longer focus around being anti-Necros, and I think it'll be a much more healthy game state, because everyone will be just actually making their decks good and work for how they work and stuff like that. Of course, they'll be focusing on other decks later on down the road, but when the big threat's gone, you don't focus on a threat anymore. You just focus like what's good overall, and I like those kind of formats better. I like being able to say that your deck can be well versed against whatever comes coming swing your way. But other than that, I'm really excited. I think I'll be doing I got some really cool cards from Nationals. I'm really excited. So I think I'll also be doing like a binder kind of video. I have my own little collection, and maybe a Ritual Beast profile, just mainly to show off the rarities. I got like so many high rarity and German cards and stuff, and they're all very sexy. And so that was the big highlight of my Nats. I didn't do well in the tournament. I was trying to play Lose a Turn in Ritual Beast. It was okay, but I wasn't being as aggressive as I need to be, obviously. Neither were my opponents, but I just wanted to try something a little wacky, and it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. So you live and learn. But other than that, I had just an amazing trip. Picked up a lot of great cards and stuff like that. Had a lot of fun with my friends. So definitely don't regret anything. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about when the ban list is coming out, what y'all think is going to happen with it. I honestly think it's going to be a huge, one of those ban lists that just really change and shake up the meta. And hopefully, anyway, I think that's what everyone wants. Pretty sure that's what even Necros players are like. Let's just change Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's get rid of all these cards essentially. But as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Rarity. Peace out.